Hello everybody, welcome back to the 3D Critic channel. I'm David, your host, and today I'm going to give you guys my top 10 most comfortable shoes that I've tried so far this year. And when it comes to compiling this list, I mainly focused on the heel cushioning itself, and I also factor in like how good it is when it comes to the impact protection and how soft it is under your foot when you are running up and down the court in these and doing heel strikes on them as well. So those are my main factors when it comes to this list. And starting at number 10, I have the Dame 8s, which has the Bounce Pro midsole and is full length. And in the heel, it was actually quite comfortable at first. It felt really nice and plush in the heel. And when it came to the impact protection, it was really nice as well. However, once you keep playing in it, the foam itself will bottom out a little bit, and the overall comfort in the heel especially will diminish a little bit, but it was overall a pretty comfortable cushioning setup in the heel, and I really liked it overall. So coming in at number 9, I have the KD16s, which features a air Strobel unit in the heel along with the full-length Cushline midsole that you are getting. And the overall impact protection was actually pretty nice overall. When it came to the heel strikes, it was very nice and forgiving under your foot, and it was very nice and compressible with the air Strobel unit in the back as well. However, I did find it to be a little sluggish in my opinion, and I felt it was like slightly too soft under my foot. But overall, it's pretty comfortable, and I was really happy with it when it came to the overall impact protection. So coming in at number 8, I have the Jordan 38s, which features a full-length Zoom Strobel unit along with a Cushline 3.0 midsole with a Formula 23 foam carrier. And I found it to be really comfortable, especially when it came to the impact protection. I found it to be nice and forgiving in the back of my foot. There's some compression, that way you have a nice feel in the heel, and when it came to the heel strikes, it was actually really nice overall. And I found it to be really springy also, that way you can get to the next step as well. So I found it to be nice and energetic, as well as being nice and comfortable under your foot. Going into number 7, I have the Puma All Pro Nitros, which features a full-length nitro infused foam, and it was actually really nice and forgiving initially. Once you start to break it in a little bit, it does firm up a little bit because it is an EVA based foam along with the nitro infused foam. And I found it to be nice and comfortable, and the impact protection was really nice overall because of that. It has a good bit of compression under your foot as well, and when it came to the heel strikes too, they were nice and forgiving when you are doing heel strikes. So I found it to be really nice overall, and it felt really light under my feet as well, considering how stacked the cushion is overall, especially in the heel. The overall shoe was really nice and light, that way there was a very nice and cushy feeling in the heel, and I really enjoyed that overall. Coming in at number 6, I have the New Balance Fresh Foam BBs, which features a full-length Fresh Foam X midsole. And in the heel, I found it to be nice and forgiving in the heel. It was very soft and plush, and impact protection was pretty good as well on top of that. And when it came to the heel strikes, I found it to be really forgiving with each heel strike that you took, and the overall foam itself was really resilient overall, and you get to play in these for a good bit when you play in these overall, and I found it to be really nice and forgiving. And especially the energy that you get from the heel strikes, it propels the energy forward to the forefoot, and it was a very good usage of the energy that you get in the heel and transfers into the forefoot as well. So it was an energetic, a comfortable cushioning setup in the heel, and I really liked it overall. Now, cracking into the top 5, at number 5, I have the WayWay 808 Ultras, which features a full-length boom midsole. And in the heel, I found it to be actually surprisingly comfortable overall while being a tightly tuned cushioning setup. There's a good bit of compression in the foam, that way you're going to have really nice impact protection in the heel, and with heel strikes it's going to be really nice, considering that it is slightly bulky in the heel with the plastic heel counter that you get in the heel. And it was surprisingly comfortable overall. It is tightly tuned overall, that way you're going to have a really energetic energy return when you do heel strikes. But I found it to be overall nice and comfortable enough, that way you're going to have really nice impact protection in the heel especially. Now coming in at number 4, I have the WayWay 10 Lows, which features a full-length boom midsole, and I found it to be surprisingly comfortable overall. And the plastic caging that you get was flexible enough that way the boom cushion was able to expand on itself, and I found it to be really forgiving under my foot as well. And it has a surprising kickback to it, that way you can use the remaining energy that you get from the heel strikes that you do and propels you forward as well. So I like that feeling overall, and it was really nice when it came to the overall impact protection as well. Didn't experience any aches in my backs, and I really enjoyed the heel cushioning in these especially. Now coming in at number 3, I have a two-way tie between the LeBron 20s and 21s, which basically have the same Cushlon midsole accompanied with the same bottom-loaded air zoom unit in the heel, with a slight difference in the 21s where you get a co-molded guardrail in the heel. And initially, the cushion in the heel on the 21s is slightly firmer compared to the 20s, but once you break it in, they feel pretty much the same. And the overall impact protection is really nice under your foot, and you get really nice compression in the heel as well. And the overall heel strikes were really nice and forgiving, and you get a nice kickback from the bottom-loaded air zoom units that you get as well. So it really is really nice when it comes to the pop back when you get from the air zoom unit. That way you can propel to the next step, and it was overall a really nice and forgiving cushioning setup overall. Coming in at number 2, I have the Nike GT Jump 2s, which features a unlocked React foam carrier accompanied with a really thin Pebex frame that you get in the heel. And the React foam itself was ridiculously comfortable overall. It was really forgiving under your foot, and it was very compressible on top of that. It's a good thing that the Pebex frame is in the back, that way it doesn't bottom out completely. The Pebex frame helps the React foam be a little more resilient, and it gives a little spring back, that way you can propel to the next step. And it was surprisingly comfortable. It felt like a cloud overall, and I really liked it overall under my foot. And it was insanely surprising overall, and I really enjoyed how compressible it was and how forgiving it was, and it has a nice spring back to it when it has the Pebex frame in the back as well. Now before I reveal the most comfortable cushioning that I have tried so far this year, I do have a few honorable mentions that I would like to point out. First one being is the Nike Zoom Freak 5s, which has a very nice stacked Phylon midsole in the heel, and it was very nice and comfortable overall, and the cutout in the bottom gives it a really nice compressible feel. That way it helps expand and gives it a very forgiving feel under your foot, and the impact protection was overall pretty nice because of that. However, since it is a Phylon midsole, it will bottom out after a good period of time, and it will reduce when it comes to the overall quality of the impact protection, and the heel strikes will be a little less forgiving as a result. And I also have the Puma MBZ2S, which has nitro infused foam in the heel and the forefoot with the EVA foam that you get, and it was surprisingly comfortable considering that it is a EVA foam and it is more tightly tuned when it comes to the overall firmness of the foam. But how it's constructed with the slits that you get in the midsole itself, it was very nice and compressible in the heel, and I found it to be really forgiving under my foot, and the heel strikes were really nice and comfortable as well. And I also have the Trey Young 3s, which had a composite foam, and it was like really bulky in the heel, and it was surprisingly comfortable overall. It was really forgiving in the heel, and the heel strikes were overall pretty nice. But the overall cushion itself, I found it to be like really bulky, and it was very heavy also, and I found it to be really weighing me down when it came to the overall build of the shoe. It is a comfortable shoe overall when it comes to the heel cushioning, but I found it to be really sluggish as a shoe overall, and that is why it didn't break the top 10 overall. Now coming in at number 1, the most comfortable shoe that I've tried so far this year is the Harden Volume 7s, which featured a boost foam in the heel along with the light strike foam that you get in the forefoot, and the boost cushioning in the heel was amazingly comfortable right out of the gate. It felt like I launched my heel into a bunch of pillows, and it was very nice and forgiving as well. And it was very nice and very forgiving with every single heel strike that I took. and it was overall a really pleasant experience overall. And I found it to be really resilient as well. And every single time you had a heel strike, all the energy that you generate from the heel strikes helps you propel to the next step that you're going to do. And I really enjoyed that aspect of the cushioning overall in the Harden Volume 7s. It was a very pleasant experience overall, and I really enjoyed how comfortable they were under my foot. The shoe itself is a little heavy, but it totally makes up for it with the really nice cushioning that you're going to get in the heel, especially in the Harden Volume 7s. Thank you guys for watching this video. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. Comment down below on what you think of this list and what you think is the most comfortable shoe that you have tried so far this year. And if you have any other questions, feel free to comment down below as well. If you would like to stay up to date with any future videos that I'll be posting a best overall cushioning setup video later on this week. And if you'd like to stay in touch with any other videos that I'll be posting, hit the subscribe button down below, and it'll greatly support the channel as well. If you'd like to stay in touch with me via social media, I will leave all of that information in the description box, as well as links to all of the shoe reviews of the shoes that I mentioned on this list as well. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. I hope this was beneficial for you guys on choosing which shoe to buy when it comes to the overall comfort. And until next time, keep shooting.